I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign. I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Total Apex Media NBA Bets in Fantasy for February 20th, 2025. With me, I have my business partner, Matt, for the first time.
My debut.
Your debut.
Yeah.
And then
absolutely.
we have my compadre, Lawson. We are ready and going to be doing things a little differently today for those at home. We got a few surprises for you. So you guys make sure you stick around. Lawson, Matt, how you guys feeling about today's slate?
It's the first full game bet. It's the first full slate since All-Star break. You know, playoff basketball is right around the corner, but it starts with tonight with it being the first slate back. So I'm excited.
Yeah, you don't realize how so just so you all know, there's a bassoon lesson and my kids are watching Gabby's Dollhouse at my house right now. So if you just hear weird noises, just ignore. Yeah, I'm excited. It's going to be great.
Love it. Brandon Ellis in the house. What's up, homie? All right, let's jump into it. First up on it, Celtics travel to Philly as minus 290 money line favorites in this. Embiid is in. I'm going to kick it right off to Matt. Matt, what are you seeing?
So, the Celtics are one of the most, frustrating teams to bet on because if they are on their 3-point shots, it's over. Like they're going to win by 20. But if they're not, they're going to be awful. And I think one of the weird things about Philadelphia, like the last trends, Boston is only 2-4 against the spread in their last 6 games against Philadelphia. Now the flip side of that is Philadelphia is 0-6 against the spread in their last 6 games. But it always seems like the 76ers, especially at home, play them really well. I still don't know if, as I say that, I still don't know if that's enough for me to want to actually pick Philadelphia. Especially because Boston's got everybody back. Brown and Tatum are back in, but I don't think this is. I think it's easy to look at this and go, "Oh, blowout." Celtics, Sixers blowout, no worries. This game probably stays closer than you might think.
Well, the spread in this one, you guys, is coming in at ±7 in favor of Boston, obviously. And I will say, because you brought it up, Boston in its last 5 is 4-1 against the spread. Lawson, does that sway your opinion any?
From where I stand on this game, I'm jumping all over Boston. I think that Boston can easily cruise to a double-digit win in this game specifically. Even when you look at just in their last 10, Boston's 8-2, and the Sixers are losers of 7 of their last 8 games. So they're a team. Philly's a team that, to me, they've been one of the more disappointing teams all season long. When you go and get a player of Paul George's caliber, even at this stage in his career, you expect, they'll be a top 4 seed in the East and compete with the likes of Boston and Milwaukee and New York. However, they just haven't lived up to that. Now, just these two teams' record, home versus away, Boston's been excellent all season long, especially on the road. They have a 22-6 record on the road. Meanwhile, Philly is 10-17 at home, and Matt Brown hit it just on the dot about how frustrating these Boston Celtics can be. On the year, they are 23-32 against the spread. The Celtics are. Meanwhile, the Sixers, they are 21-33 against the spread, and in their last 6 games, not counting games against each other, the Celtics are 6-4 against the spread. Meanwhile, the Sixers are 4-6 against the spread. I'm riding Celtics all day long. We saw Drew Holiday miss a couple games before All-Star break with a shoulder injury. He's back in the lineup. I'm riding with one of the best teams and the reigning, defending NBA champion Boston Celtics in this matchup.
It's interesting because yesterday this was a point higher, so it was plus minus 8 yesterday on DraftKings. So you can tell that there's a lot of people. Brandon Ellis, I know we popped it up on the screen. He's one of them that are riding with the Sixers You know, he still has Boston winning, but you know, that whole point, movement says that people are betting the Sixers.
Mm-hmm.
You know, here's where I'm at with this. Okay. When you look at what Boston is able to do offensively and defensively for real, it's a different element when you look at the fact that Philly is 0-5 in their last 5 against the spread. And that may have been without Embiid, but Embiid is a matchup nightmare. But I think between Porzingis and you sprinkle in a little bit of old school with Al Horford, I think they're able to contain him enough.
What year did Al Horford come into the league? Al Horford,
2005, 6,
draft
2000,
class,
2005, 2006. I think he played
he
with
was
Grant
in
Hill.
the 2007 NBA draft. The 2 players selected ahead of him were Greg Oden and Kevin Durant.
and then Al
There you
Horford
go.
to Atlanta. Wow.
Yeah, crazy.
I mean,
I forgot that he was a top 5 pick.
he was excellent in in the
Ellis
early years
is
in
on
Atlanta,
it.
and see when because just before we went live we were just Dusty brought up Al Horford, and I'm like, well, some players they're 82 game season guys, and then some players they're just 16 game season guys, and I think Al Horford, even though he's not starting, he's just kind of being that old veteran mentor, and in the playoffs he rises and shines.
It's what the Chiefs
So
are doing with
I
Travis
think
Kelce.
for me, so I'm
to an
actually
extent,
going,
yeah.
I'm going a little bit crazier on this than you guys because I like winning money. Okay, I do. And when I see a bunch of negatives on my sheet, like a minus 290 and a minus 300, I don't like that. So I am looking at the fact that this season alone, Philly is 9-18 at home against the spread. That does not bode well for this Philly team with Embiid. So I'm getting silly for the millie and bumping it up to minus 9.5.
Mm-hmm.
Celtics crush Philly. We
It's
don't
also
know how long Embiid is going to play. If he makes it all game.
I mean, Celtics winning by 10 isn't like oh, what a prediction.
No,
like, it's not like you're going out on a limb there.
And that's the thing about betting, though, is that you just move that line slightly one way or the other, and you go from winning $4 to $40.
right.
And that's where your shark plays come. Okay.
Mm.
So what do you guys think? Do you guys think that is a viable option in this game?
What's the highest you would go? Like what's the highest you would go and still feel like you weren't being crazy? Because I mean
11.5.
Yeah, I mean that's where I was at, like 11.5, 12.
I think they win by 12. I mean, these two teams, they just played 18 days ago in Philly, and Philly was up 26 in the third quarter with about 3 minutes to go, and they still found a way to lose by 8. So it's like going from 8 to 7. Add once again, stretch it out all the way up to I think Boston cruises to a double digit. I think they cruise to a 12-point win in this game. I understand Joel Embiid is a matchup nightmare, and he did have the week off. You brought the hint that, does he finish the game? I think that Boston, what makes Boston so special, especially on the offensive side of the floor, they're going to look all 5 players on the court and say, who can I put on Tatum? Who's the worst defender, and how can I get them in the pick and roll? Hey, they were in Philly up 26 with 3 minutes to go and found a way to lose that game almost by double digits. So it's not really ball.
Now look here. At the end of the day, Joel Embiid has more issues than Sports Illustrated at this point. He could play one game and be off 2 weeks, and undisclosed injury. So I'm not willing to put money on a player that can't stay on the court. That's all there is to it. I don't care if it's in Philly, Hong Kong, or in the Congo. The Boston Celtics are about to show everybody why they are the team to beat in the East.
Mm-hmm.
That's all there is to it. Now, moving on to the DFS side of this, we're going to start breaking this down for you guys from a team's perspective. So, what I want to do is trying to avoid the because we can all agree that we're going to do one stud player in the game, and then we're going to do a value play in the game, and then we can give either a fade or a sleeper from this game.
Mm-hmm.
I started with Matt last time. So from the Celtics only, Lawson, who is your stud in this game?
He's expensive. I understand he's the hot name, Jason Tatum. Especially from a from a just a non-point perspective. When you look at the matchup, from a rebounding and assist perspective, he's going to have the ball in his hands the majority of this game. And who does he guard in this Philly lineup? Oh, he's gonna guard the backside corner, which will lead to a lot of weak side rebounds. From a sleeper perspective, I know it's not the best matchup when you look at the numbers. Philly ranks ninth against this position. Peyton Pritchard, he's under 6K. He's always that kind of value guy. He's the first man off the bench for this Boston team, and there's many times in which he plays, in the high 20s, low 30s minutes, if anybody in their backcourt gets into foul trouble. And then just to sprinkle a fun player, Sam Hauser, just for fun. He can come in and rain threes. Him and Peyton Pritchard, they're a great 1-2 punch off the bench from their range to how they space themselves on the offensive end that really fit Joe Mazzulla's offense for the Boston Celtics.
The other thing you can get with Pritchard is some extra value where if it is a blowout, he's usually just in. And so you get these like massive garbage time stats. The other thing worth noting with Tatum is the last 2 games against the 76ers have been huge, like just huge games, anchoring like worth the cost. I know Brandon in there just we popped up on the screen. I mean, Jaylen Brown's also a viable play in this as well. And even probably you can do some lineups if you want to do both of them, doing Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown and get some decent value.
Now for you, Matt, same question, but on the 76ers side, who are you targeting as a stud, a val, and then a fade or a sleeper?
I mean, if you want to like raise your heart rate and grow some more gray hairs, Joel Embiid is the ultimate, risk reward play. Like literally he could go off for, 37, 12 rebounds and 3 blocks with, some assist. Like it could be a monster game, or he could just lay an absolute egg
on his own feet.
Yeah, I mean he'll fall down 8 times in the game, and you'll like hold your breath that he's okay. I mean Tyrese Maxey is probably the most likely play. It's not a great matchup, especially if Drew Holiday's on him. Like it's he'll get his points, he'll get assists, he'll get his rebound. But Yabusele is the other one. I've been playing Yabusele all season.
Yeah, he's been awesome.
Loving it. The other one is Oubre. Kelly Oubre's been coming on
I
the last 2
love
weeks.
me some Kelly Oubre. I'm telling you,
he's not as much of a value pick anymore because now the cost has caught up with him. So he's now kind of like a mid play, but he definitely gets a bunch of rebounds. And that's the thing with DFS is you're looking at those alternative stats besides points.
I love that you made that point, because a lot of people look at, oh my God, well, I've got to get KD because KD can score 30 points. But I would almost sacrifice a player that can get me 13 assists and 13 rebounds and maybe 5 or 6 points. Because
that'll be a theme in some of my later picks, because
there you go. So, but I think you guys keep these picks in your heads, because we about to have some fun here after a while. Moving on to the next game. You got the Grizzlies traveling to Hoosier country to battle the Pacers. This is a very, very, very interesting game.
I got
Like,
some
this
news. I'm sorry to interrupt. News. Luka Doncic out Thursday. Just now.
And that means that line, if you guys are on your betting apps, smash the Blazers before they adjust the line.
We'll get to it. We'll get to it. We'll get to it. We'll get to it. We'll get to it.
They've already adjusted it.
Matt was on it too, trying to get that sharp play.
No, I've already adjusted it.
All right, but this game, look, you guys, Memphis is
not taking it.
3-2 in their last 5 against the spread, whereas Indiana's 2-3 in their last 5 against the spread. This is a very interesting game for so many reasons. And Lawson, I'm going to hand this one off to you first because you hit a lot of key points in the pre-show that I think would really solidify why this is so hard to pick. Go ahead.
This game is really interesting. We were talking about, from the whole slate, could there be any of these weird underdog-esque, could, I don't know, Charlotte upset, Denver, obviously not, but, just throwing stuff to the wall to see if it sticks. Indy plays a interesting brand of basketball. Like these two teams, this is going to be a high-scoring, really fast-paced game. Now with Memphis, they're one of the bigger teams. They have Zach Edey and Jaren Jackson and Aldama coming off the bench. But how Miles Turner is used, you see him setting a lot of screens. He can really space out this Grizzlies team. So before we even dive into DFS, Zach Edey is almost a fade just based off the matchup. They're going to drag him away from the rim. They're going to try and get these high energy guys in space. They are going. This Indiana team, we just saw them make the Eastern Conference Finals last season. So they're not crazy. They are a good matchup away from being a dangerous team in the Eastern Conference. Now, they're playing at home. They're playing against one of the best teams in the West record-wise. No matter how young they are I think they're number 1 in the NBA in points per game. It's just a weird, funky matchup for a Memphis team that I'm still holding off on buying the stock for. They're 7-3 in their last 10. Indiana 6-4. Not that much of a difference. When you look at the home away splits, India's 14-9.
I want to. You mentioned it, so I want you both to keep this in your mind. Memphis ranks number 1 in the league in points per game at 123.3. They rank second in the league in rebounds per game at 47.8. And they rank third in the league in assists per game at 29.1 assists per game. That is that I understand you're not sold on it, but when they're leading the league in scoring, top 3 in the other 2 main categories, that's hard to pass up. But what's the one if you had to put your money where your mouth is, are you going with the yellow or the blue?
The blue. It's tough because as much as I just said as the reasons why this Pacer team can give Memphis problems, this Memphis team is still really good. The only reasons why I am not 100% sold is just due to youth. But let's not get it twisted.
Halliburton. One word. Halliburton.
Blue.
Halliburton.
Yeah.
That is what worries me because Halliburton he is one of these players, Matt, that if he comes out and he plays, there is nobody in the league that can stop him.
I think that's the issue has been consistency this year, where he's gone in and out. Now, as of late, the Pacers have been very, very hot. I have personally, because I like fun, I have bet the over in this. I know it is 251 points that I bet it over, and I do not care. I like fun. I'm not betting the under. It's no fun to cheer for that. Bet the overs. I wouldn't. The tricky thing about this night is there's only 2 teams, Charlotte and the Lakers, that are coming off of like a schedule thing, because that's often where you can get spreads, money lines, other stuff like that, of like, hey, they're coming off a second night of the back-to-back. there's rest issues, yada yada yada, but everyone's coming in fresh, and I think if everyone's coming in fresh, it almost makes me kind of bump the Pacers a little bit, because the biggest advantage that Memphis has is their depth. And that's great right now, but or it's great coming off of like back-to-backs and stuff like that. It's not great right now because everyone's fresh. So I'll call.
And
I
would
think I would call
breaking
Pacers.
news. I don't know if you guys know this or not, but it has been reported within the last, what is it, 24 hours, and a lot of people need to pay attention. Miles Turner is set to return tonight in Indiana.
Yeah.
From his neck
concussion,
injury.
yeah.
So that does add a little bit of an element, because Miles Turner, Pascal Siakam, Halliburton, this is a game that I don't think I'm looking at a money line. I'm looking at a spread on this, because it's going to be finding that sweet spot, because right now at the way that it's at, it's a plus minus 2.5 in favor of the Grizzlies. That, in layman's terms, is Vegas telling us throw a dart in the bucket and hope and pray. That's pretty much what we're going to get today.
Mm.
I mean, you might as well think of this game as a NASCAR race, because it's going to be up and down the court. We had a fun fact. Between these two teams, they tonight will run 38.5 miles, which is both tops in the league. So they're very, very. That is a lot of
I don't think I've run 3.5 miles in like the past 10 years.
I'm just saying, but they're going to do it in one night. And I think that's a team total too. So not one person.
Mm-hmm.
But
take the overs. Be fun.
Yes, I got to tend to agree that now Memphis does have a pretty good defense, but this is an Indiana team that's not just got one star player. Siakam has been known to come out of nowhere and end up dropping a 30-point, 12 rebound game just randomly. Okay. And now he don't have to try to play such a big man with Miles Turner coming back. So that's going to be able to put him back into that jack of all trade sort of position where he thrives the best. So for me, I mean, this is a pick'em game. I mean, this is probably the toughest game on the slate, you guys, to really pick a winner, because yes, everybody wants to say, oh yeah, Memphis, but you also got to give a little bit of love to the Pacers, considering they're on their home court coming out of the All-Star break.
I think that's why I did the over, because then I don't care who scores the points, and just score the points.
So Lawson went first last time. I'm going Matt. Give me the start, sit, Val.
I mean, obviously I like Jaren Jackson, or not Jaren Jackson, Ja Morant. Memphis by 9. I like that pick from there.
That's Jay Muscle, homie.
When Memphis gets rolling, man, they're tough, and I think Ja has a good game tonight. I don't
have to.
I don't think that Indiana has the like ball stopping person that can keep up with Ja's athleticism. Jaren Jackson Jr. probably gets high minutes, like Landon, you were saying. I think Zach Edey just gets run off the floor. And in terms of value, I mean, any like Jalen Wells, Scottie Pippen Jr., any of those like guards are fine picks. I think the problem with trying to pick the value pick for the Grizzlies is it's really hard to know what guard is going to get the big minutes and how they're going to. The deep teams are great if you cheer for the Memphis Grizzlies. They are terrible for everybody else.
All right. And for Mr. Lawson, the Pacers side of things.
For the Pacers side, I mean, you're really looking at. You know what? It's not a good matchup. However, I could see him getting some sneaky minutes if it gets out of hand. TJ McConnell is just a fun player off the bench, and at 4,100, throw it to the wall and see if it sticks. You're either going to get a bunch of grimy plays or a lot of high effort plays. There's almost no in between. You know he's going to get at least 1 or 2 steals. He's not going to get you 15 off the bench. However, he could get you 8, 4 rebounds, 6 assists, and from a DFS standpoint, that's pretty good.
Obi Toppin is the other one.
There's another one too. Yeah,
Love Obi
Toppin.
Toppin.
There's another really good one.
And I think you got to throw some Mathurin in there at only 5,200. I mean, he's averaging 28.4 fantasy points per game.
Yeah, I think my biggest problem with Mathurin is he's a scorer. And so he can fill up the score sheet in points, but if he's not scoring points, he's not doing a whole lot else.
Yeah. And now that we know that Miles Turner is coming back, I mean, at 6K, that's a tempting play. It really is. And I'm not taking nothing away from what Memphis can do in the paint. They're the most dominant team in the league in the paint. But Miles Turner has been known to be beast mode just like them. You know what I mean? Like, he's no slouch, skinny. I mean, he's got some meat on the bone. Like, he's not just going to be bulldozed over. And it's going to be fun for me to watch him and Jaren Jackson. Yes, it's going to be very interesting to watch him and Jaren Jackson tussle in that hole. I'm looking forward to it. We got a comment here. Pacers bench needs at least 19. Absolutely. Absolutely. From excitement to an old-fashioned slobber knocker. The Cavs, do they win by 20? That's what I need to know. We know who's going to win. It's by how much at this point?
I mean, the spread is a modest plus minus 13. That really hasn't moved much in the past 24 hours. They seem to really like that. Obviously we know the Cavs can score in bunches, but the Brooklyn Nets have been a sneaky, really good defensive team over the past 2 weeks. I've been hitting on a lot of unders with them. And so, but I mean, Cleveland is the best team record wise in the East for a reason. I mean, I'll be honest. Can you name 10 Nets players? I don't think I can.
D'Angelo Russell. There's one.
Like I don't think if you were to tell me, hey, name the Nets starting lineup right now, I'm not sure I could do it. And so I think this is a great. I don't think there's really much value.
I know
here.
3 of them: Huey, Dewey, and Louie.
I mean, if you want to bet the spread on this, but to me, this is just a class. This is just a stay away. I'm just not interested in betting this game.
I actually do like this game, and I always like when I'm dealing with spreads. I want to be able to comfortably say I could take this either way, 2.5. I'm taking this at 14.5, 15.5. I think that this is just a complete, utter disarray, mismatch. There is no way. You heard it here. You guys can snip it, clip it, and send it. I don't care. There are going to be paper bags on the heads of the Nets fans tonight. Mobley, Allen, Mitchell, Garland, Strus, Hunter, all are going to silence Brooklyn tonight. I would not be surprised if this is way, way, way more than just a 15-point victory, because Cleveland is very, very good defensively, and Brooklyn is one of the lowest scoring teams in the league already. This isn't even I don't know about, Jay Muscle. He's got to do some arithmetic because, maybe 12. No, you need to add some on that because you ain't gonna make no money at 12.
The only thing you worry about is the backdoor, like a garbage time cover.
Yeah.
And yeah, but that's the problem is the bench for Cleveland is better than the Nets starters. Let's call it a spade. Let's stick a fork in it. It's done.
I don't know how the Nets
DeAndre Hunter would be a
deadline.
starter. DeAndre Hunter would be a starter in Brooklyn. He's a bench player in Cleveland. Strus would be a superstar in Brooklyn. He is a bench player in Cleveland.
Whoa now.
Star.
Strus would be a star in Brooklyn. That's how bad that team is.
I mean, we're not saying it's good by any means, but I get you.
I'm just saying, I'm all over this game. I'd even get silly with it. And if y'all want to get brazen, I'd take it at minus 17.5. That don't scare me either. Lawson,
Yeah, I'm right there with
Cavs
you.
DFS.
Cavs DFS.
I gave you the good team. I'm going to make Matt think.
You did.
Yeah, I have to. I'm glad you're doing Lawson first, so I can pull up the Brooklyn Nets roster.
Either of the two
It's
centers.
not the all-time either.
Either of the two centers, even whether it's Mobley or Jared Allen. The only issue with any of these Cavs players is when they're up 25 with about 3 minutes left in the third, they're done. So I expect Evan Mobley to come out. And he has a very, very favorable matchup against this Brooklyn Nets team that's really just they're treading water on the deep side of the pool. There's no help coming for the Nets. Cam Thomas might be back sooner rather than later, but he's not walking through the door. Julius Erving's not walking through the door. 2000s Richard Jefferson's not walking through the door. Cavs by 23, and it's not even close.
Did you guys know that Killian Hayes is on the
crazy
Nets?
at 17? I'm just saying this is going to be a good old slobber knocker. I'm telling you, this is going to be, we're going to knock the taste out of your mouth and walk away. That's all it is. When you were talking about the Cleveland side, I think the other player, because I think it's going to get, I would not be surprised. And you guys tell me I'm crazy. I would not be surprised to see Cleveland up by at least 25 by half.
This is very much like the Peyton Pritchard play. Maybe taking a couple of Cavs bench guys, you could get some garbage fourth quarter minutes.
Like like Dusty said, like DeAndre Hunter.
DeAndre Hunter all day in this, I'm telling you. Who does Brooklyn have to stop him?
Think
about it. There's no answer.
I mean, there's some
incoming message.
There's some solid young players,
Yeah,
incoming message.
They're fun.
Yeah, it's fine.
On to the Nets.
So you've got Cam Thomas is out. Nick Clowney's out. So really here you're not playing anyone that is even a mid play. Cam Johnson is probably the best, like, hey, if you want to spend some money, but I think there are some decent value plays here, especially again, if this is going to be a like somebody has to play 48 minutes for the Nets. And if they're down by a lot, then you're looking at some of the young players. So Keon Johnson, I think, is a really good value pick. You're the 22-year-old out of Tennessee.
Can I throw one in there?
Yeah, go for it.
Because, we've mentioned how dominant these centers are for Cleveland, right? But at only 4,200, averaging 20.6 fantasy points per game, I would not be afraid to sprinkle in a little bit of Day'Ron Sharp for Brooklyn. He don't need a lot to cover because the golden rule when you're dealing with fantasy, you want to try to 3x whatever that salary is to get your value back. And Day'Ron Sharp is only 4,200. I would feel confident enough to say he could easily get 20 fantasy points in this game.
Mhm.
Can we stop talking about the Brooklyn Nets?
Yeah, we can just
On to the next.
next.
You know what? Let's do this. We always love people joining our show. We love people. Total Apex is just dominating the industry right now. And in case you guys don't know, it's time for that station identification. So enjoy the music and make sure you follow us on all of the socials. We'll be back in 27. All right, from one beat down to another. I'm not even touching this. I just
So you
throw a
would touch
dart
one
at
beat down, but not another one.
all I'm saying is I am this is one of those games that you could just throw anything at the Knicks in this one and it's liable to hit. Now, I'm not taking nothing away from Chicago because Chicago ain't the worst team, but it's different when you go into Madison Square Garden. And this Knicks team, and they've been decent all year.
And they're well rested, which is not something you can say about a Tom Thibodeau led team
Right.
often.
They're about to run 100 miles in this game. Thibodeau's going to knock the cobwebs right out of them, right out of the gate. They're going to be doing suicides up and down the court 30 times before the game even tips off.
Yeah. Now we do have there is some injury stuff here. That, you know, so like Josh Hart is out, and Anunoby is day to day. I don't know if he's been ruled out for today's game or not, but like those are some things to watch.
Let me check.
I'll keep vamping while you're checking.
Anunoby is listed as questionable, but he is trending that he will play tonight against Chicago.
Yeah, but still, you're without Josh Hart, so that is a concern. You know, Chicago does have like Chicago is one of those teams where it's like individually you look at all these players and go, yeah, the player's pretty good, but just like it doesn't work on like the court. And really we don't have a whole, since they got rid of Zach LaVine, they're even a little less potent because you've kind of taken away your biggest scorer facilitator. I mean, really plus minus 12 is a lot. You know, it's there's definitely I wouldn't hate if you think the Knicks are going to win, but Chicago keeps it close, you know, and you can paint the narrative of it. Okay, Vucevic goes, you know, has a big game. You know, you've got a big game from either Kobe White or Josh Giddey or somebody like that. It's easy to see how that happens. You know, Knicks have an off shooting night, something like that. But this is a tough one. This is a tough one. I mean, I still think the Knicks win, but this could be closer depending on how you feel about it.
Man, they about to stump a mud hole in the Bulls. Who you kidding?
Can I tell you? So I had like I sometimes like with my betting stuff, I like to round it to like the nearest dollar because, you know,
right,
OCD, things like that. So I had 50 cents one time, and I just decided to throw the 50 cents on Josh Giddey to get a triple double against the Brooklyn Nets earlier this season at plus 2,800, and he did it.
Awesome.
You want to talk about beginner's luck? I'm just saying that's BS.
Yeah, so, definitely very little. I mean, again, Brooklyn Nets was like, it's a decent matchup. It'll be fine.
So here's Lawson. Here's my problem with this game. Is every night there's a game that everybody's like, this is just a butt whooping. And it's been very, very clear, like what was it, a couple weeks ago or last week, Lawson? It was the Jazz who went into LA and or lost. No,
LA went to Utah, yeah.
Yeah,
As
yeah.
I want to say they were 11-point favorites and lost.
Yes. So
Mhm.
does that worry you with this game?
No, it doesn't, because let's just go through the Bulls' last 9 losses, because they're going to lose this game. Let's look at their last 9 losses. They lost by 18, 40, 21, 19, 8, 22, 12, and 25. That is only one single-digit loss in their last 9 losses. They're going to lose this game. Let's not get it twisted. I understand that Josh Hart is out. However, I think Mikal Bridges is in a great position to pick up the slack. This is
I just want you to
bad
tell me
matchup
how you really feel, okay?
Hey,
I want you to tell me.
don't ask me to get something off my chest, because I'm going all the way to my toes. I'm going knee deep, you know. So like, it's just no. It's a bad matchup for a Bulls team that is in full tank mode since trading Zach LaVine. That's it. Now I understand. Oh well, Lawson. In the past 2 times, the Bulls are actually 2-0 against the Knicks. At this point in the season. Yeah. Well, Zach LaVine left, and Jordan's not walking through the door. Zach LaVine in their last win against this Knicks team, Zach LaVine dropped 33. Who's dropping 30? Who's dropping 30 plus tonight?
Kobe White.
Who?
White.
I like Kobe White. He's nice. He ain't dropping 30 tonight.
Yeah, it's like that's it. The Bulls just have a bunch of like nice players. You're just like that's nice.
Hey, I love me some Vucevic. Vucevic is nice.
They're
However,
like the Applebee's of the NBA. It's like you walk into
Man,
Applebee's.
I don't
like,
know what y'all
nice.
talking. Vucevic is like an old Volkswagen Beetle, man.
And still dropping 20 and 10. And still dropping 20 and 10.
But he's going against Cat.
Cat ain't they are dead last in the NBA in blocks per game. Conga line to the rim.
Yeah, Conga line.
Yeah, conga line to the rim.
But see, you just proved my point, though. You've sat here and said, oh, the Knicks are going to do it.
They are.
But you just gave the key to success, and that's what worries me, because you say who's dropping 30? If they know that Vucevic's in that matchup against Cat and they can expose it, Vucevic 30 and 15.
No, Vucevic will probably end this game with 18 and 8. That's my guess. Even though, I mean, like Cat, I have been so impressed with Karl Anthony Towns since coming to New York. He has completely re-imaged himself. Like he's second in the NBA in rebounds per game, which I didn't think he'd be a high volume rebound guy in his career, especially from what I saw in Minnesota. Like the only person that's ahead of him is Sabonis at 14.6 rebounds per game, and Cat is second at 13.4. I just think that there's too much firepower for a lowly Chicago Bulls team.
I mean, Vucevic is minus 150 to get a double-double tonight. So,
I mean, that's pretty much letting you know that it's probably that's probably going to happen. So,
yeah, but
and when you mentioned Cat, he's a different player. I would be too if you're supposed to be the franchise center and you go out and you bring in Rudy Gobert and you're supposed to be the feature, and now there's a two-headed monster. I would feel a little slighted too. I'm just saying.
Right.
But where in New York, he is that guy. And yes, they have Mitchell Robinson, which is, when he comes back, do you guys think that this Knicks team, fully healthy, has a chance to run in the East this year?
No. There's one team, and it's a terrible matchup. They do not match up well with Boston at all. And it's going to come down to, if the Knicks want to get to the NBA Finals, they're going to need to pray that another team knocks the Celtics off. It is such, just like I brought up when we talked about the Celtics game earlier. Oh, Brunson is on the court. Whoever Brunson is guarding, come set a screen and let's get the switch going. That's it. That is the single reason as to why the Boston Celtics are so deadly, and why it's, yes, the Knicks have one of the best starting fives in the NBA. But what Boston does is they matchup hunt. and Jalen Brunson, who's a undersized point guard and not a really good on-ball defender.
There you go. All right, let's jump into the Bulls DFS. Who wants it?
I'll do it. Matt doesn't
All right.
want to do it. I'll do it.
I had to do the Nets.
Yeah, so I'll do Chicago. No one really has a great matchup per se. I mean, Dusty's brought him up for weeks now. Ayo DeSomo. If you're going to do anybody, DeSomo's a really nice value at just 5,600. And once again, this Bulls team outside of Vucevic, it's still a really young team. So I could see Billy Donovan really, extending young players' minutes. So I could see DeSomo playing in the mid to low 30s minutes wise. Other than that, I mean, I like Lonzo Ball as a player, but he's going to be on a slight minutes restriction due to, he's still working his way back, even though he, all-star week kind of rejuvenates a lot of people that have been out with injuries. I like Lonzo's game, but play DeSomo if you're going to play anyone for the Bulls.
Matt, I'm starting it off, and I'm saying right now it's my lock of the day.
Okay.
I don't care.
Wow.
Let me find out for a fact. OG is back. He is the lock in this game.
And the
That's
player
all
to
I'm gonna
watch
say.
if he's not is Precious Achua.
Absolutely.
If Anunoby goes out, but this is a great stack. Jalen Brunson, Karl Anthony Towns. Maybe throwing Mikal Bridges in there because Josh Hart is out. This game has the potential to be kind of the anchor to your DFS lineup because there's going to be points scored.
Absolutely. All right, from a couple slobber knockers to a game that could really go either way. This one is probably outside of the Grizzlies and Pacers game. This is probably one of the more competitive games on the slate. Matt, let's kick it off with you.
This really, it's a little bit of a bad matchup for the Hawks. The Magic are very good defensively. And now that Franz Wagner and Paolo Banchero are back, they've got a little bit more of their offensive juice. Jalen Suggs is out tonight. But there's still some good juice there. It just, even in the past couple weeks with, Suggs, with the two stars back, the Magic just haven't inspired me to want to get behind them. But also the Hawks kind of had, they sold off a bunch of stuff. Then they got some injuries. Jalen Johnson is out. This is a tough one. Honestly, because it's plus money, I'm probably taking the Hawks plus one. Hawks money line plus 102 because it's plus -1, which -1 might as well just be a toss up.
Throw a dart.
Yeah, throw a dart. And so if I can get plus money off of a dart throw, I might as well, just from a smart betting standpoint, I guess I'll bet on Trae Young having a big game and Paolo
Capella is back.
Quite hitting it. So
Capella is back for Atlanta. Clint Capella is back.
Yeah, this is another game too that
move.
You can say, the over under is 223. That's pretty high. I
think that's an underplay all day.
Yeah, if you want to take the under, that's not a bad idea. It's because the Orlando Magic do not play with high pace. I know the Hawks do, but if the Magic can dictate this pace, that's an easy under.
Easy under. I mean, I ain't even kidding you. I would be surprised if this game gets up into even 190s. For real. That's I don't see that. But Lawson, where are you at with it?
How Matt just was all over saying that this is just a kind of a bad matchup for the Hawks. I mean, when you look in terms of these two teams, they've only played once, and the Hawks won by 6. Franz Wagner had 37 points, and Paolo had 31. So if you're going to get your two young superstars to drop a combined 68 points, there's a good chance that they could have won that game. Now, conversely, this Hawks team, and maybe it's been a little bit of a stigma vibe since they made the Eastern Conference Finals, in that 2021 season. They've just always been just a sneaky team. They're not going anywhere. Just like you guys said, they got off DeAndre Hunter, who was a really nice player. They have some young talent with Dyson Daniels, and Trae Young's obviously there. Jalen Johnson, who suffered that season-ending shoulder injury a couple weeks ago. It's just a really fun team. With all that being said, give me the Orlando Magic all day, every day in this particular spot. I think it's a great.
All right. All right. So we're going to have to speed this. I'm sorry about that.
No, you're good. I get it.
We got to speed it up because, I got to speed it up now because we're at 50 minutes.
If you get me going, I can't stop.
Oh, we can do kind of a speed round here.
Yeah, let's go.
Let's do some speed round. All right. So give me the lock of the DFS for the Magic.
Paulo Banchero.
I would agree. I mean, honestly, or like Wagner, you could
either or,
like dart throw there.
Yep. Hawks. However, I got this one. Go.
I got one picks though. Cole Anthony Black.
Bingo.
I have a DFS lineup that has both of them as the point guards in it, and it's it's such low cost that then you can spend elsewhere. I'm happy about that lineup today.
Mm.
I love LeVert in this matchup. Watch out for him. He's only 5,300, averaging 22.8 with Trae Young banged up. Trae Young leads the league in assists.
Mm.
LeVert is sort of moving from a bench position in Cleveland to more of a starting position in Atlanta. Watch out for LeVert in this. Now we're going to head to the Clippers. Minus 148 at Milwaukee. Giannis is still listed as questionable. You guys, there's very few times where I say, what the heck are you thinking, Vegas? What bookie come up with that daggone? Who came up with the line?
The problem is that it's both Giannis and Dame that are questionable. Mm-hmm. And so if both of them play, fine. If both of them don't, then that's an issue. Though I will say, when Giannis and Dame have been out, and I have no facts to back this up, this is just vibes. I always turn on the Bucks, and they're like winning with Gary Trent Jr. and a juiced up Bobby Portis and Brooke Lopez.
Juiced up Bobby was crazy.
Yeah. So it's. The one to go with here is I think it's the safe play is Clippers, because then if Giannis and Dame get out, this line's going to jump, and then you're not going to be able to get -3. If you want to get spicy with it and go, well, Giannis and Dame I think are going to play, and or I guess either one, taking the +3 might not be the worst idea, but Clippers are the safe bet.
Yeah, it is. Still showing as a true game time decision for Giannis with that calf. Yeah. Updated. And Damian Lillard is also. Look, I'm going to put it like this. You guys wait until the final injury report come out. But if Giannis and Dame are out, I'm taking Clippers -9.5 in this. Think I'm fronting.
Now we hear you.
Zuby.
My vibes say differently.
I want a prescription for what you're taking, sir. Clippers, DFS.
I'm not taking any Clippers in DFS. I have no idea what Ty Lue's rotations are. Anytime I pick somebody because they scored a bunch, the Clippers are I've been burned too many times. I don't want them. And Lawson, if you've got somebody, please throw it out. But
Ben Simmons, his stuff. Hey, for betting fantasy, for betting like stat wise, I don't care what his rebounds assists are.
Oh my Lord!
Don't care. I do not care. DFS, go get you a Ben Simmons. He's cheap and he's fun. We saw him in his Clipper debut have a really, really nice game. Really nice, just a an above average Ben Simmons game. 27 minutes. Could I answer in 27 minutes?
You know,
And
we're- I
no.
love that comment. I'm vibing at the wrong frequency. I will say, and I can transition into kind of the Milwaukee Bucks picks. There are some really nice value Bucks picks, like Taurean Prince. Kuzma's great, but like Taurean Prince, Gary Trent Jr., like both of those are like really, really, really cheap and will often it doesn't take much, and especially if Giannis and Dame are out. Great.
All I'm going to say is if Giannis and Dame are out, that means they're going to be without Giannis, Dame, and Bobby Portis because Bobby Portis has been ruled out. Clippers 9.5 if they're all out. I'm just calling it.
So what you're saying is Ben Simmons is going to get some eat-up minutes.
I mean,
yeah.
Here's the thing: I may have to go now. Put Ben Simmons in a DFS.
Hey, dabbling some Ben Simmons.
It's honestly not a bad play.
Right.
So, there's every day we have that game where I'm like, you guys ain't even going to talk about it. This is one of those.
Okay. I do have one thing to say about this game. This line was 14.5 yesterday. It is now 17.5. I have bet it at -15.
I don't care what the line is.
and I mean,
bad.
I mean, this right here, again, the Hornets are the one team that are coming off a back-to-back. Yes, they won yesterday.
Don't care. Once again, y'all laugh now, we go into the bank later. You laugh now, we go into the bank later.
I mean, I don't see any. I mean, the Hornets.
You want to know how to win money? You want to know how to win money, Matt? Take the Nuggets -19.5. Put Jokic and the whole starting five in a DFS lineup and get 180, 200 fantasy points just from that.
Like 20 minutes.
I want to say that Jokic
in the first quarter, there's 160 fantasy points on the table for the starting five of Denver.
He had a huge game. Who are the Hornets? So, Loss, I'm gonna throw it to you. Who are the Hornets that, like, if you want to do DFS, who should you target?
Mark Williams.
No, Jokic will probably get him in foul trouble. The thing is, with LaMelo, with it being a back-to-back and LaMelo Ball having the injury pre-All-Star, I could see him being a late scratch. So, Miles Bridges, he's not efficient, he's not fancy, he's just fun, and you're either going to get really good or really inefficient.
I do have a Val play for you from a DFS standpoint. Nurkic.
I like Nurkic, yeah.
He is only, listen to this, Matt, 4,300, and he is averaging 25.7 fantasy points per game.
In the words of a great man, that's a no from me, dog.
I mean,
my God.
Mark Williams out.
Is he out now?
So that's what's his face? Diate?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good play there as well then.
Yep, at 4,900, I will take that. I will take that at 17.5 fantasy points per game. I'm okay with that play. Into another, we had breaking news today. If you guys haven't read it, make sure you guys go check out totalapexsports.com.
Shout out to Greg.
Shout out to Greg Simbeck for his great coverage on it. But Victor Wembanyama has been officially ruled out for the rest of the year with a blood clot in his shoulder. You guys, this opens up this game a little bit because with Wemby, I think that line is reversed.
This line hasn't moved. That's the interesting thing.
Yeah, it's still just sitting at it.
It's 2.5. I think it was 2 for a while. Like they really did not give much, and part of that I think speaks to what the Spurs have. Yes, Victor Wembanyama is a one of a kind player and brings a lot to that team, but I mean, you're looking still with De'Aaron Fox, Stephen Castle,
Evan Vassell,
Vassell, and Sohan, and I mean
Chris Paul. He can be speed walking down the court.
It's
walking up the court.
have the Suns had one game where you were like, wow, what an impressive victory. They
No.
just always seem to have weird stuff happen.
And that is that you guys don't even understand how wrong that statement just tastes coming out. You're talking about a team that has Devin Booker and KD.
Mm-hmm.
That is just nasty.
And I like
It's
their head
nasty.
coach.
Yeah.
I like Coach
I like
Bud.
Coach Bud. Yeah. They
So
just
here's
can't
where
guard
I'm at.
nobody.
Here's what I'm at. I'm taking the plus money on the Spurs, and I'm going to tell you why. Because my lock of the day from the center position for fantasy, Jeremy Sohan, 26.9 fantasy points per game this year, and he is sub 5K. You got to have somebody come in, right? If he's doing 26.9 with Wemby on the court, they're going to need another big man to come in and help out with that's it. No, that's it. That's their big man. Barnes. It's going to be Harrison Barnes and Sohan.
Oh, Harrison Barnes, Dusty's crush is Harrison Barnes.
Hey, while you talking, you want to talk about stories now. I had a Harrison Barnes lineup, right? Put it into a $5 DFS lineup and took down first place and took home $750.
I love I'm sure everybody who has played DFS, there's one player that you irrationally love. It's Anthony Black.
Everybody.
I irrationally love Anthony Black. You're not going to convince me otherwise. I do not care. I irrationally love this man.
Even in the NFL, like there's just certain players that you're like,
every sport.
I don't even care about the matchup, dude. I just want him. I know I like him. I'm putting D-Hop in. I'm putting D-Hop in.
Ben Simmons rebound assist has a wagon play. Wagon. Hey.
Look.
Right.
All right. Let's roll it. Suns DFS. We got one more game after this.
Nick Richards, 5.3K, no Wemby, big night.
Booker is probably if he's playing. I know it was game time decision with a back injury. But if Booker's playing, he's been hot lately.
Yeah.
Good anchor play.
You know, I'm going to throw another name in there too.
Uh-oh.
I wouldn't be scared to get a little bit of Royce O'Neal.
It's a good value play.
Yeah, solid.
4,900.
You're not going to hate yourself.
No, not at all.
Hate yourself.
All right. On to the Spurs. Y'all already know where I'm at. I'm going Sohan all day.
Stephon Castle, and you, once again, listen to me now. We go to the bank later.
I'm probably fading Chris Paul. I just think he doesn't play enough minutes.
Yeah, especially when they got Fox, it's like he's the odd man out.
You know, I'm going to throw one more out there for these guys, for the Spurs.
Zach Collins.
I like Zach Collins too.
Yeah.
Sneaky guy.
I'm not on the Harrison Barnes as much as I am Keldon Johnson.
Keldon Johnson's I loved him last year when he was a starter. Now he's fallen out of the rotation, but he's a really nice young, high energy.
He's only 4K, you guys.
I think the challenge for this game is, and in the immediacy, is we really don't know what these non-Victor Wembanyama games are going to look like. I'd like to see the rotation of who's getting the minutes before I really start going all in.
Yeah. All right, into the last game of the evening.
This line has been a journey since we started this pod.
Dude. Luka Doncic out. And the Trailblazers are without DeAndre Ayton.
Okay, cool.
And I'm to the point now where I'm about to make Jay Muscle mad. I don't know what to believe with the Lakers right now. How do you go into Utah and lose to one of the worst teams in the league?
It's a hard place to play.
I would say Utah's a tough place to play. Just to give you the journey on this line. It has been.
Portland isn't.
No,
I don't think. I mean, here's the thing. Portland. Let's give Portland their flowers. They have won. I know they're on a 3-game losing streak going into the All-Star break. 2 of those games were against Denver.
Denver.
Yeah, in Denver. Another tough place to play. but they have won 10 of the last 14 games,
Mm-hmm.
played really good defense. It hasn't been at full strength. Like Jeremy Grant has been out, DeAndre Ayton's been out, Anthony Simons has been out. It's been a lot of their young guys. Donovan Klingon has looked fantastic.
He's awesome.
Yeah, it's this line was
Shaden Sharp has been on
Shaden
his
Sharp
on
has
his
looked great.
yes.
This line was +-4. Then it was +-3 all day in favor of the Lakers. Then the second that you said Luka Doncic is out, I checked. It had flipped. It was Blazers -1, and now it's back to Lakers -1.5. So, like, basically, that says to me that again, Luka was out.
Vegas
and everyone
doesn't know.
put money.
You know what is the point? What is the reason that we bet? We want to gamble.
Fun.
Exactly. So this is one of them games where I'm taking the plus money line on it.
The Blazers are the hot team right now. I will say if you're looking for the like Lakers take, okay, yeah, Luka's out. They're still Reeves, they lost the Hornets yesterday, but yeah, Donovan Klingon, woo. Austin Reeves was ejected, so he'll be back. But I don't hate. There's definitely solid evidence to go. Blazers are a hot team at home, catching a team on the second night of back-to-back.
Sneaky
this
spot.
is a decent plus money play.
I mean, it really is, and if they lose, it's really not the end of the world because you're going for plus money. Like if
here's what you don't
lose
wanna do.
a buck or you win $5.
I'm sure we've all made bets where you look back and go, "What the world was I thinking? Why did I make that?" You'd want to avoid that. Like if you were
this ain't one of those plays. Though.
Yeah. If you were to bet the Trailblazers and the Lakers win by 20, you're not going, "Oh my gosh, why did I do that?" Like there was sound reasoning. It just LeBron got hot or something.
And it's like, oh, the Lakers hit 23 threes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. All right, where are you at with it, Lawson? You think that taking a risk it for the biscuit kind of play here?
No, you trust in your glorious king, LeBron James, in this game. LeBron, monster game, back-to-back. He caught fire at the end of last game. He had a solid first quarter, was bad through the second and third, and then turned it up in the fourth. I think LeBron rides the high hand.
LeBron is ridiculous, like in a good way, like just
40.
I'm not even.
22,
you know what?
And playing like a top 8 player in the league.
I'm not even going to do it because I already know what he's got. So it's LeBron James. Start LeBron.
Klingon.
Lock in
I agree
LeBron.
with
Klingon. Yeah,
I like Klingon. I like Klingon. And then from the Blazers side, this is where it gets interesting. This is actually a very good matchup for the Blazers. Because really outside of LeBron, this Blazers team has the better talent.
Give or take.
You've got give or take. You got Shaden Sharp.
Yeah,
you've got Scoot Henderson. You've got I mean,
I don't hate this take.
It's not. This isn't just now. LeBron is the X factor, but he's going to be without Luka, and that's 50, 30 some points that he's going to have to try to compensate for.
I mean,
I'm not saying the Lakers won't win this, but as a betting man, you got to take the positive money and roll with the underdog in this one. And I really, really like. Let me make sure I get this. The name. I love Klingon.
I think of all the matchups, this is probably your safest like underdog pick.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. And
especially
the other person that I like in this game for Portland is Kamara.
Yeah, he's been he's been a really solid young guy for a really young team.
Yes, and we all know the issues that the Lakers have had on the defensive side of things. Now, LeBron is going to be guarding him more than likely because that's the shooting guard, small forward position. But more than likely, we could see Lawson, you had alluded to it in the pre-show, where we see LeBron sort of holding down the hole in this one.
Yeah, especially with without Luca. Even with Luca's out. However, even in these past 3-4 games with Luca, he's just kind of been just a guy. Now I get it, he's still conditioning full swing. I get it, yada yada yada. But like even post Luca trade without Luca in the lineup, we saw LeBron play like a top 10 player in the world. So.
All right. So now the question is, are you guys ready to have some fun?
Let's build this lineup.
We are going to build a lineup right on screen with everybody. So now the way this is going to work is I am going to start with Lawson. I want you to give me a player, no matter what position, that you are dead set on has to be in this lineup.
Ja Morant.
I support this.
I support this.
Bingo.
Ja Morant. Matthew.
I'm going Jason Tatum. I think that we got to have a good Tatum anchor in this one.
Where is he?
You can also filter by games right there up the top. Yeah.
A little pricey.
Big.
A little pricey.
So I think that for me, I think we're gonna go with
solid. Yeah.
I think that's a fair play to try to bring down that salary. Now it's back to Lawson. Now where are we going from here? You got to get some Val in here because we got 18 grand.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying. Give me Cole Anthony at 5,100.
That's Orlando. Okay. Now we're on to Matt.
I mean, do we go the double? Okay, well, it's like no, we're not. I'm not gonna go Anthony Black.
Value. It's getting pricey.
Let's see here. So yeah, we want to go really value. What if we do a little?
So
I like an.
I got one. I got one.
You got one. You got one. Okay.
Here.
Yeah. Go.
I got it.
Okay. What do we think about an Obi Toppin here? Do we? I mean, what's our budget look like? Okay.
We got
63 for 3 spots. We got 63 for 3 spots.
Obi Toppin. That's Indiana.
Yeah, he's in. I almost said Indianapolis.
Indiana. Obi Toppin's 4,900. We can do that.
Yeah,
there you go.
I like an Obi Toppin here.
Yeah.
Okay, now we got 5,700 left for the last two positions. So do we pay down?
We got an average of 5,700. We have 11.4. We have an average of 5,700.
Let's look at the forward position here and see if we could come down here. Because what I like to do, I'm actually digging this. Putting in Aldama in a blowout or in a decent game.
You don't think maybe a Max Strus either might be a decent play here?
I'm okay with that. Or with Luca out, you could run some Dalton Connect.
He's wishy-washy right now.
Yeah.
You got the Sam Hauser.
Ben Simmons.
Hang on. On principle, we have to put Ben Simmons in this lineup, right? We have to do this.
He's 5,500. He's in our budget.
Yeah. We have to do this.
Oh, that's no good.
Wait, he's not a forward?
Nope, they got him in point guard only.
Get out of here, DraftKings.
Wait, put Cole Anthony at the 2 guard.
Yeah, can we put Cole Anthony as a shooting guard? Is he that? Or can we put Anthony Black in as the shooting guard? Hang on.
I got
go
Cole
back to
Anthony
Orlando.
on mine as a 2 guard.
And then
go to Orlando.
Anthony. Yeah, can. There it is.
Bam!
Oh, perfect.
Marvelous.
Now we've got
There you go, Dusty.
5,900.
You got 5,900. Go crazy.
And this is so now we're
Gotta have a
looking
forward here.
at
There you go,
I'm
Dusty.
telling
Go
you.
crazy.
right there it is.
No, it's got to be a
It's gotta
forward.
be a forward.
We just talked about
Oh.
Kamara. Kamara 5,900.
We could go Vassal. I don't know, man. I got my dust.
I like a Chew is right there too with a good matchup.
I mean,
Yeah.
honestly, like this is like 6-1 F does to another. What are we
Yeah.
feeling? What are the vibes? Anyone in chat?
Honestly,
There you go,
Anyone in
Dusty.
chat?
honestly, I'm leaning towards Levert, dude. I'm leaning towards something is telling me
That leaves
Levert.
$600 on the board.
It does, but then we could upgrade Sohan if need be as a utility.
Yeah. Okay, let's. I like this. I like this.
So
what do
we
you
pop
think
him there,
and
and
now
take him out.
Sohan.
And we got 5,100 now for a utility.
Who could we get?
Capella, Grimes,
I like
Diabate,
Grimes.
What do you think about Jackson Hayes? Oh, yeah. What do we think
DeAndre
about this?
Hunter.
Yeah.
DeAndre Hunter, 28. I mean,
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, I like that. Let's go DeAndre Hunter. I'm calling
Yeah,
it.
there we
Making
go.
the
you
executive
got
decision.
200.
I
And you
mean,
got
200
200.
is in my like it's negligible.
Yeah, you can. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right,
And-
I'm assuming we're gonna tweet this out or post it out. Whatever we do on X.
It's-
Sorry,
it-
Elon.
Good.
If this works,
Share it. We'll run it up.
there it is. And ladies and gentlemen, there you go. We are in. Oh, the contest is full.
Well,
Son
can
of
we get another contest? Can we put that?
Yep, we're gonna do it. You know what? Here, we'll do this.
Well, I mean, we don't need to do
Single
this
entry.
now. Like, we can do this
Right
off.
here.
We can let the people go.
I'm in a $5 now. Only 713 contestants.
Let's do it. Let's put.
I'm in.
Can we remember what we just put in?
Yep, right.
Oh, good. We have it up
Right
here.
there.
Great.
Would you look at that?
Look at that.
It's already
We're ready.
in.
I love it.
So
God, when
What,
Ben
you guys
Simmons
thought
has
we were done?
78 fantasy points, y'all are gonna eat it.
now what we're gonna do is we are going to build a 3-leg parlay. And we are going to I gotta
Parlay's
stop
my
sharing.
favorite word.
Now, are we doing
There
a
you go.
parlay just with like spreads and overs? Are we doing some player props? Is this no hold
Whatever.
barred?
No holds bar. If it could go into a SGP or I'm sorry, just a 3-leg parlay, it's fair game. Sorry about that. I gotta get logged in, y'all.
Okay.
It logged
Okay,
me out
okay,
for activity. So give
Let me go here. We go with let's again, because we like fun. We're going Grizzlies Pacers.
This is gonna be so great.
And okay, let's see. Hang on. We're again, because we like fun, we're taking the over at -110. Then if we go to points and we give, let's see, we go a Pascal Siakam to score 22 plus and a Ja Morant to score 20.
I don't care how many legs you
Oh,
put
that
in.
can't be
What are we
parlayed.
doing?
Sorry. Never mind.
All right, where are we at?
Jason
are we
Tatum
doing first?
rebounds assist.
All right, so
Okay, yes, I like this. I like this.
I think unless it's bumped up, it was at 13.5 earlier.
player combos,
Yep.
players, points, rebounds, assists.
We just want rebounds and assists. No points. Get those points.
No
out of
points, just
here.
rebounds assist. Yeah.
Just rebounds, assists. Keep scrolling.
It's down there.
Keep scrolling.
It's down there.
Points, rebounds,
Keep
points.
going. Keep going.
There you
Assist,
go.
There it is. There it is.
Rebounds.
Okay, assist rebounds.
Yep. They're at
13.
14.5 now.
Woo!
So they bumped me. Wow.
I mean,
I
are we
could.
still feeling it?
I actually am because
Fred, if you
I
ever play,
Why not
Do it.
let it fly?
hey,
let it fly.
I thought we were here for. I was about to say we're here for fun, right?
We're here for fun. We believe in
All right.
fun here. It's one of the things while we're looking through this. One of the funny things about all betting ads is they're always about the overs because like people like, oh, he hit a 3, and yeah, I want to see a betting ad where someone's bet the under and like is cheering because somebody
I hope he
blanked
rolls
the
his
3.
ankle. I hope he rolls his ankle. You know, just something stupid.
Hey, now I will say this that I'm digging this because I like this Tyrese Maxey, 35 points,
PRA,
rebounds, and
Yeah.
assists.
Yeah, because I mean he's a primary ball handler, so
yeah, he's gonna have the ball in his hand, and if it's not in his hand, it's gonna be Joel at the elbow.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
Let's throw Tyrese in there.
Oh,
Hey, man,
can't
what you
be
got?
parlay.
Well,
What?
poop
Boo!
to you.
They don't like fun.
What if we, okay? So let's take on Maxey for that. I like the Tatum thing. Can we let's see here. Let's go to another game. Who else? Because
We can do game lines. Oh, here's one. I got one for you. Let me go back here. Where's it at?
Minus 40.
oh my god. Oh.
See if we can parlay it. Hold on. Before you do anything,
yeah.
see if we can parlay it first.
Yep.
Okay.
There we go.
What if we go
Like-
something like because we're in a parlay? Like what if we go down to something like 9.5? Like that's still like plus 185.
Plus 285.
That's plus 215 now.
Yeah.
And so all right.
You go back. Then you go back to.
I like this.
And I'll tell you where else I'm looking at. And this one is for.
I mean, what about like Nick's?
Give Matt the last leg.
We're Clipper. You're going up on the Clippers. Oh, you're going against my vibes. Oh,
But
I don't know, man.
But can we parlay it is the question. Because last time they were mean and told us no.
They were mean.
They were mean.
Oh, okay.
They don't like fun.
Why they not even list Ben Simmons on here though?
He warming up.
I mean, he ain't even on the sheet, man. Like they got Chris Dunn on here over him.
He's not. He's warming up.
You on the BS?
No, hey. Once again, laugh at me now. We going to the bank later. You laugh at me now. We going to the bank later.
I actually think I'm leaning on. We talked about this. You know what? I mean, if you want to get silly for it,
hey,
that money line for Portland.
Go ahead, jump in the pond if you want to act like a silly goose. Go ahead. Go ahead.
What if I would say if you want to get more
Actually,
safe,
you know what? I want to see.
LeBron for 50.
All I'm saying is I actually am not opposed to this.
But can we parlay it?
Yeah, for parlay purpose. Yeah, see if we can parlay it. Great. So, but I would say for like, are we good with the 578, or are we? What if we go like down to the 43 just to like give us a little bit of buffer? How much value do we lose?
Not much.
Not much.
Yeah.
I love this.
Yeah.
And then I mean, if you guys want, I mean,
oh, we're adding more. Woo!
I thought it was a 3-leg, but hey,
look, call it. I mean, who's going to win it? Indiana or
Memphis?
What?
Memphis.
Yeah, I think if we're going upset, I think Memphis wins it.
Money line it.
906. Okay.
Oh, we're cooking. Knicks
By
1,000.
This one, y'all don't think
you can just do Knicks money line if you want to add the fluff to it.
Yeah.
Or I was gonna say, or you could do minus whatever.
I'll take that. It went up to over 1,000.
Yeah,
I
sure.
Can do that.
Yeah, this
money
is
line. Nick.
Watch us hit everything except the Knicks. The Bulls come in and like destroy them.
I mean, I think we take this. I don't know if I'm.
That's high. 17.5 is
17.5 is a funky number.
That is high.
That's just that sweet spot of like, huh?
Yeah, like it gets to that point, and now
cover
like
written all over it.
Like, yeah, I'm tempted. Like, I'm tempted because I have the Nuggets minus 15 to like take the Hornets plus 17.5 and see if I can hit both of them. I think I like this.
Yeah,
I like this one.
It's solid.
And at $5, it's a $58 payout.
Let's do it.
And yeah, I will submit it, but I've got to every
Re-sign
now and
in or
again. You
whatever.
guys
Yeah.
know you got to do that.
Oh yeah, the location.
Download
thing.
your geolocation.
Yeah.
All
Laws.
right. Yeah. All right. So
I'm gonna go down
from
and
all
half.
of us here at Total
Yes.
Apex Media, you guys, we have been on the air for an hour and 25 minutes with probably one of the most thorough NBA breakdowns in the industry. Make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe. Tell your friends about us. Retweet it. Reshare it. But from all of us here, peace.